of YouTube land, this is the Dodo Wrestling Fan here today for a rather odd style of countdown. Today my countdown is going to be the top 5 Sailor Scouts from Sailor Moon. However, my countdowns are going to be a little bit more different now. Mainly because this is going to be more like a discussion than anything else, because I just don't have the patience to carefully edit things like I used to. I'm just a lazy bum, lazy ass mother effer. So, unfortunately, these are going to be more like a discussion, but I don't know, it seems like people genuinely seem to enjoy the way my stream of consciousness, if it were. So, I have the Sailor Scouts listed out, and before I get into it, these are just the Sailor Scouts, which means, unfortunately, characters like Tuxedo Mask and Naru and people like that will not be making it. None of like the Black Star Clan will be making any appearance here. This is just the main heroines of the tale of Sailor Moon. That's all it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen. So with the obligatory bullshit out of the way, let's start with number 5. And number 5 is Ami Mizuno, aka Sailor Mercury. Sailor Mercury is definitely the brains of the operation, and she's also quite the sweetheart in her own time. As to where the heck our scouts would be without her, it's kind of unknown. Probably hacked up to bits inside random places in the bellies of random Yoma, perhaps. Sure, she doesn't get a lot of character attention, but the episodes that she does get to shine, she shines indeed. And she has proven herself to be more than just intelligent, as well as cute and very badass when need be. But as stated before, it's just kind of a shame how she never gets much time to shine. I should say Shine Aqua Illusion. Ha ha ha, what a pun, Dodo, what a pun, because that's the name of one of her moves. Ha ha ha, that was terrible. But regardless, her cool collected nature is a wonderful contrast to the rest of our cast of heroines, which is not cool and not collected by any means whatsoever. Like I said, unfortunately she is this low on the list due to the fact that she never gets much focus on herself, which means that her character development kind of stilts in many areas. But she is a wonderful member to have to the cast, and I'm glad that she's there. So, I think that covers number 5. Now it's time for number 4! And number 4 is going to be Minako Ainao, aka Sailor Venus. The original Sailor Senshi. Indeed, it is Venus. Needless to say, I don't think a girl with looks like that will need to use any love me chains to get the boys running to her. Sure, Minako can be quite the clumsy little brat at times, as seen in episodes where she tries to care for Usagi and the gang when they're all sick and stuff, and when she dresses up as a nurse. So yeah, very sweet girl, very clumsy, not necessarily the sharpest knife in the drawer by any means whatsoever, but she's very tough, has lots of attacks to use, and personally, I think that she is pretty much one of anime's best blondes ever, at least in my humble opinion. That Chakotay chick, or whatever the hell her name is, yeah, she ain't got shit on the original. Because needless to say, put these two together, okay? On the screen, I will post a picture of the Chakotay. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her right. I don't even know what frickin' show she's from. I just know that she's popular. I see her all over my Twitter. Whatevs. That's Chakotay. Now, here's frickin' Minako. You're gonna tell me that Chakotay is better than Minako? I'm sorry. 90s animation is simply better. Guys, it's just... that's of rules of life, it's facts. However, I am getting sidetracked off of her character, but needless to say, very sweet girl, tough, badass. What more could you really want from the original Sailor Senshi, Sailor V? Next up at number 3, we have Usagi Tsukino, aka Sailor Moon herself. Now, this is kind of a shock. The leading heroine of the story is not my favorite. What the frick is going on? Well, here's the thing with me. I typically do not gravitate to the lead protagonist of a franchise. So, take Dragon Ball, for instance. Goku is not my favorite there. You can go, like, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog is not my favorite Sonic character. That's pretty much like Shadow, Silver, people along those lines. So, it makes sense. Actually, it's a wonderful thing that Usagi's even this high on the list. Usagi is a very... how do I put it? Dumb girl, let's be frank here. But she's also the stereotypical, relatable, dumbass protagonist that comes in the lead of an anime. But it's nice that that is the case here. Because Sailor Moon is very slice-of-life-y oriented, lots of filler, things like that. So the fact that we have a very relatable protagonist to most teenagers, or at least of the time, is kind of what sort of builds its legacy. And she's a very important character in her own right in anime, and you know, even gaming in general, more or less just Japanese fiction of the last 20 years or so. She's right up there with, like, other characters. She's like popularity contests with, like, Goku, Cloud, Strife, etc. Sure, she can come off as a bit thirsty for old Mamoru Chiba, aka Tuxedo Mask. Matter of fact, Usagi comes off as rather thirsty for pretty much anything that has a penis. But, don't let that distract you. She is a very pure soul, I'm sure. And when push comes to shove, even though she's a bit of a coward, she genuinely cares for her friends and will do anything to save them. So, even though she is quite the generic lead of an anime series, that's not a bad thing because that character trope really works in my opinion. And it's the perfect leading character for a more light-hearted show such as the Sailor Moon franchise. And you know, this might sound pretty freaking random, but can we just say that the way that she says elimination in the subs is freaking hilarious. The English to Japanese pronunciations are so freaking cute with her, it isn't funny. So I always get a little bit of a laugh from that. Like, moon healing elimination. Like, that is so broken beyond belief, but it's so charming in its own way. So, oddly enough, it's little things like that that make me smile that put her above others on the list. And yeah, you'd be surprised, none of the Outer Senshi are on this list at all, which means there's no Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Saturn. They're not on the list, unfortunately, because I never gravitated to them as much as the main cast. But with that out of the way, now it's time for number 2. And number 2 is Makoto Kino, aka Sailor Jupiter. She is definitely the most physically imposing Sailor Senshi out of all of them. Almost, I'd be willing to say Dragon Ball tough in her own way, studying the martial arts and things like that. We know that she's tough, we know that she's a tomboy from the very first appearance that we see her, when she completely kicks ass against the Own of Thugs. An Own of Thugs? I think I meant Horde of Thugs, but this is what happens when we go on without a script and it's just more of a discussion-styled video than anything else. However, this tough exterior, this tough persona, is greatly, and I mean greatly, contrasted in comparison to such a nice, pure heart that she has. So even though she might come across as such a tomboy, trust me, underneath that exterior is quite the girly girl indeed. And there's always been something about that style of image that is just kind of captured my heart in a little bit of a sense. So it's like, get yourself a girl that can kick ass, cook, and all that crap, but she's also just an amazing person to be around. And, like, sort of the way, again, from the very first episode, you can tell, like, immediately after kicking ass against those thugs, she sits down and she has, like, a little cute lunchbox, and she, like, blushes a lot. She's really shy, eats away from the other kids. So it's, I don't know, it's just one of those things where you just really want to hug her for some reason. And she also gets a lot of more funnier moments in the franchise, as she's more of a fan servicey character, such as like, oh, we all know that the person that should play Snow White is the one with the biggest bust, and that's clearly me, right? Points right to her tits. But regardless, and like I said, in combat, she's probably the most sound out of all of them, as she's the one that commands thunder, and she has a whole bunch of awesome attacks that she can do with thunder-based blada. Needless to say, I'd say my favorite attack of hers is Supreme Thunder Dragon. However, that is not an attack we see very often in the series. Like, we barely see that at all. Kind of the same with the character that's coming next. We don't ever see her secondary, more powerful version of the first move that they get ever again past the Doomtree arc of R, which is kind of sad, unfortunately. Because after that, she learned Sparking Wide Pressure, which is essentially just a ki blast from Dragon Ball, and that's all she used. And you know, it's all good and all, but she has flashier attacks and things like that. But again, I'm getting sidetracked, and she's just a wonderful character. I love the heck out of her. Cute as hell, like what more could you really want? I'd definitely deal her a top tier waifu any day of the week. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, if you follow any of you follow me on my Twitter account, and I'm assuming that everybody that does follow me on my Twitter account would easily be able to guess who the heck the #1 pick is for this countdown. So my #1 Sailor Senshi or Sailor Scout is hands down Rei Hino, aka Sailor Mars. She's literally perfection, guys. Like, goddamn perfection. So not only is her character really freaking great, she's also really goddamn hot. Oh my god, the looks are so hot. Just yeah. I can't help but feel like I've done that before on another video not so long ago. Needless to say, she's like a fire that burns in your soul. Another pun, Dodo! Another pun! Give it a knee slapper! Oh! Oh! This isn't making any sense. This video has completely lost traction and the viewer is completely off-guarded now. Yippee. Like, I'm pretty sure you clicked off right about now if you didn't know me. I reckon so. But let's get into the straight fire facts now, shall we? The thing that I tend to like her about the most is her more tsundere antics that she has. Which basically, for those who don't know what a tsundere is basically a little bit of a bitch, but very nice at heart. So, the perfect, compliment to this is actually Usagi, hence Rei and Usagi are the best of friends. Even though all they do is fight all the time, you can tell that they actually really care about one another. And that actually goes doubly so for Rei herself. So, a perfect example of this would be, pretty early on in the series, there's, this raffle going on, and she's like, oh, I don't care about a raffle, just, oh, fine, I'll do it, whatever. That's beneath me. And so she uses her more sidekick powers, which is one awesome thing that she has, is that she's also one of the best in combat herself. No, actually, she doesn't even need to transform into a Sailor Scout to be a force to be reckoned with, which is only the same for Makoto. So her and Makoto are the exact same in that aspect. However, I definitely say that Rei herself has more fancy moves to do with card seals and things like that. It just all around seems cooler to me. If you watch the show what I mean, that Rinpyo, Tao Shao Kai Jin Rensutsu Zai Zen, whatever it is, I'm pretty sure I effing got it right, and if I did, I'm pretty effing proud because I totally did not read that. I swear to God, that's just going off pure memory, okay? So if I somehow nailed that, I am a Weeb Master 2000, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, back more onto the story where it's I don't really give a crap about this raffle, and then she ends up winning, and it's just the biggest effing deal in the universe. She completely gloats, and another thing is when she tries to get Mamoru, Usagi's crush, but not at the time of the series because Usagi freaking hated Mamoru because Mamoru would always bully her. Things like that. It was more of a character twist than anything else for those who haven't watched the series. Though a character twist that I completely called right from the beginning where I was like, oh, that dude that bullies her is gonna be Mamoru. And I was like, yep, I'm right. I'm a clever mother effer. A good prognosticator, if it were. But the instance is she has this daydream because she also has a crush on Tuxedo Kami-sama. In this daydream, it's she's gonna trip down. He's going, oh, are you okay? Yeah, it's fine. I'll buy you a tea. Everything will be okay. And then she does the act, and it just completely blows up in her face. And then she just gets all flustered. It's I'll buy you a tea. I'll do it. She has to force herself to make it happen. So it's more of that very, very sweet, sincere, kind of, but egotistical nature that makes me love her so much. It's kind of hard to describe, really, but like I said, just awesome in combat, an awesome character that's willing to do anything for the sake of her friends. Basically, she's Usagi, but a way cooler version of Usagi. That's the way that I've always viewed things. Much more useful without being turned into a Sailor Scout. Better personality, I find. Better looking. Because let's face it, I'm a 17-year-old male. Let's just get on with that. And she's the anime waifu of all. The queen of it, if it were. Just absolutely love her character on every aspect. Just awesome. Just simply awesome, very well written, and I couldn't ask for her to be any better than what she is. So, if you somehow suffered through all of that nonsense, I will bid you all and say this. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. This is the Dodo Wrestling Fan, signing out.